Howdy folks, my name is Stuart and this is Trotter's Tips. Today I wanted to talk to you about leadership. You know, we have a lot going on these days in politics and our leaders are all acting a little bit out of character. All right, now I'll say I'm trying to be nice about that. Okay, our leadership isn't really acting like leadership. You know, the thing of it is when it comes to leadership, what is leadership? Folks, you can be elected to office and not be a leader. Just because you're elected to office does not make you the leader of anybody. That just makes you the holder of an office. All right, leadership is the ability to present yourself in such a way that other people want to follow you. That is leadership. Let me give you an example. The best employer I ever had. Okay, this guy was a lawyer, first of all. You know, great guy, civil rights attorney, very smart, very giving and loving, and always trying to do for other people. This man provided examples of leadership to me that I had never personally experienced. But once I experienced them, I understood truly good leadership, and I didn't mind following somebody for a change. I really didn't like all of the leaders that had been put before me, and I didn't feel like following anybody because they really weren't very good examples of anything. But this guy was different. A good example is we were finishing up with a fundraiser for the corporation that he was the CEO of. And this was a corporation that grew into a very large company toward the end. And it's still up and functioning. Now, this gentleman is now deceased. However, I have to say what I learned from him. Example, we were at a fundraiser, we were cleaning up, and I was in back after the party and getting some stuff cleaned up and brought out some mops and mop buckets and stuff. And there wasn't much of anybody around, so I just got busy with the mop. It had to get done. And there he comes on in the back, and I see him. I'm saying, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm avoid using names here, but if it slips, I'm sorry. Anyway, he comes back there and he says, "Let me give you a hand." And he grabs one of the mops, and he starts mopping the floor with me. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, here's a man who is a concert pianist, a top-end civil rights attorney. In fact, he was rated in the top 10 attorneys in Texas by the Bar Association. He was the CEO of a nonprofit corporation, one of the biggest of its kind in the state of Texas, and the oldest of its type. Wow. It wasn't like he was unaccomplished. He was there mopping a floor with me. And then later on, I learned of one of his sacrifices that made me that much more just absolutely, solidly wanting to follow behind him. And that was when I learned that he gave up his pay raise. The first 3 years of my employment, he didn't receive a pay raise, and he told the company to take what money would have been his pay raise and to increase the raises for everyone else. So although the rest of us did much better on our pay raises, all because he was willing as CEO to give up his pay raise. I've never heard of any CEO anywhere for any company at any time ever doing that for their employees. Now, I'm not saying it has never happened. I've just never heard of it. This guy did it. He did it for me and the people that worked with me. And I knew right then and there was no way I could leave that company. And there was no way I was going to disappoint him. Anybody that'd make that kind of sacrifice for me, are you kidding? Yeah, I'm going to be their best employee. And it wasn't just me. It was everybody around me. That company had very little turnover. That's because people stuck around. That's because they treated people right, and the leadership was actually leadership. You see, leadership is when you present yourself in such a way that people want to follow you. Now, we have people in our government that are presenting themselves in ways that I certainly wouldn't want to follow. Let me give you an example. We'll start right here in Texas with the lovely Senator Ted Cruz. Oh, children are dying and it is a horrible freeze. We've lost power to the state. Well, let's go out of country and have us a nice sunny vacation. Of course, he didn't head back to the country until he saw how much backlash was hitting the press. And suddenly he scurried like a little rat to get back to Texas to try to salvage, I don't know, salvage something, I guess. I guess when you act like a scurrilous human being, then, and I wanted to use a different word, started with a T. I wanted to use that hard T. But anyway, when you act like this scurrilous individual, then people don't necessarily want to follow you, and they don't look up to you. We need leadership we can look up to. People we can say, look at what a good job he's doing. He changed my life because he did this, 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 that, and the other. And in that way, I was able to make more money, and I was able to have better freedoms, and I was able to get better health care. And wow, you know, Ted Cruz didn't help me make more money. Ted Cruz didn't help me have better health care. Ted Cruz didn't keep me safer from crime. Ted Cruz didn't, well, Ted Cruz didn't do anything for me, frankly. And frankly, he didn't do anything for you either. And there's plenty of others out there. I could name names all day long, and I think we all know who they are. And I'm not saying they're Republican or Democrat, because you've got problems on both sides of the aisle, ladies and gentlemen. On one side of the aisle, there's so much insider trading, it's unbelievable. And on the other side of the aisle, well, they're too stupid to know how to do insider trading, but they're busy planning rotten stuff. Give me a break. Bad leadership isn't leadership. It's simply an office holder. All right? Ted Cruz, you're not a leader. You never were a leader. Nobody wants to be led by you. You're just an office holder. Lindsey Graham, you're right there with him. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marjorie, there's nothing to say about you other than, gotta be careful, Marjorie, because some Hungarians built a spacecraft with a death ray and they're pointed it at your house. You idiot. So, pardon me, folks, for digressing. Hey, it's all about leadership and good leadership. And when people act like, well, like rampant clowns, that's not leadership. So let's, when we choose those who we vote for, let's choose them based upon the better leadership qualities they've shown and the things that they've done for others. Plain and simple. If a person has a track record of helping people and making lives better, that beats somebody that's just full of empty, hot rhetoric. Nah. Stop listening to their words. Start paying attention to their actions. Did they act like a leader, or did they just act like a politician trying to get into office? Acting out and doing the wrong thing and saying bad things isn't leadership either. All right. Folks, thank you for listening to this. It's just some food for thought, and I'm sure you're going to have some things that you disagree with, so if you would, write down in the comments box. Write all of that in there. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you hated it. Subscribe if you would, please. I only want 1 million subscribers. I'm not that greedy, so click that subscribe button and help me get there. And if you would, thank you. Please check out the rest of my videos and have a good day. Bye-bye.